Hi stitches, I hope you can see this okay and that I'm not too chopped off, because I've had to resort to my camera because I've tried twice to record this on my iPad and it keeps crashing, so I can't do it again. I've wasted almost an hour now, and that's like a valuable hour of stitching, so we're just going to get this done because it's driving me mad. So this update is quick WIP update, birthday haul, FFOs, another thing which you'll find out, and the stitching style tag. So right, okay, first of all, WIP. I'm not showing you my memorabilia, I'll show you that at the end of the month because I've done quite a lot on that. Just trying to find my thing. See, everything's a mess now. I was all nice and organised, but I'm not anymore. I've had to put my memorabilia to one side because my carer has asked me to do a birth announcement for her twin grandchildren, which I think they're nearly a year old now. So this is the one I've chosen. Oh, not I've chosen, she's chosen. I hope you can see it. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see, but this is what she's chosen. This is what I've done of it so far. I've only had 3 very quick sessions on this, so I've not really done all that much. But I've just got the little baby started. I did think about doing the babies in a blue and a pink because her grandchildren are a boy and a girl, but there's as many colour changes as the heaven and earth on this cross stitch, and I would have had to find so many different shades of blue and pink. I just left it as it was, and my carer likes it anyway. So that's that. Birthday haul, not that much because I didn't get any stitchy stuff for my birthday, but mainly because I don't need anything, because I've got enough patterns and stuff to keep me going from now until the end of all time. But yesterday me and my mum went to Hobbycraft, which is the only chain store in the UK for stitching stuff, and it's rubbish really. It's great if you're doing paper craft. It's not bad for arty type stuff. Kids crafts, loads of them, but cross stitch is pretty poor, to be honest. So I didn't get much. I just got some aperture cards because you can never have enough plain aperture cards, because I like making cards, and that is why. I got a clip-on daylight light for when I'm stitching in bed because it's a struggle to see. I got these 2 magazines which I was actually going to buy online, but saved myself the postage and packing because they were there. We've got the Spring 2015 Cross Stitch Favourites, which has lots of nice patterns in, and we have my favourite magazine, which is the Spring 2015 Enjoy Cross Stitch, and this one's theme is cottage gardens. I love this one. It only comes out 4 times a year: spring, summer, autumn, winter, but it always comes in a Ziploc bag, which, as all you stitchers know, comes in very handy, and it comes like with lots of projects to do and things to finish them off, and yeah, it's great. Now this other thing I've never seen before, I've never seen any of you talk about before unless I've missed it, but me and my mum saw this and we both ended up buying one. And what it is, it's a magnetic board, and then you put your chart on there, or if like me you already use a magnetic chart holder, then obviously you don't need to bother with the back bit. And then these are like window markers, so you've got like a little one for a line, bigger ones for a big area, sort of square, they're not quite squares, but it enables you to keep a track of where you are really. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. So my mum bought a pack as well. I think that was all. Oh, I've just nothing exciting from Amazon. I just got a medium bobbin box and another small one, because you can never have enough bobbin boxes, and this one's just got my threads in for this project that I'm doing for my carer, because as you can see it's not a huge pattern, but it's all those colours in it and got beads in it as well. I just chose my own colour beads because it didn't have to be a certain colour. So I've got those FFOs, which is There's rummaging. On the Cross Stitch It's Fun group at the weekend, my birthday, we had a butterfly style because you all know how much I love my butterflies. So I did this, a butterfly in lavender and with a little frame, and I put some ribbon on, and this actually came from one of those Cross Stitch favourite magazines. Did that. Now these other things you've seen before, like when I finished stitching them, but these are now proper FFOs. My mum has been very busy doing all these, but we have this, which I did for my niece's bedroom. It was meant to go on their door, but I think if I hung this on the door would fall off its hinges. Yeah, I hope there's no glare because I can't see with that. I'll put it down there. Oh, forgot, I've got those to show you as well. And then the rest, because that one I made myself from different things, you know, in magazines, please excuse that. Oh, that's, yeah. And then these others come from the Daily Cross Stitch site. We've got my favourite rainbow pooping unicorn there. And we've got a rainbow shooting rainbow laser shooting unicorn, as all unicorns do. And we've got I Will Always Love You, although my mum had to cut the top of the leaf off because she just couldn't find the right size frame, so it was either lose a bit the leaf or lose a bit the word, so obviously the leaf went. We've got Owl Are You, Owl Sweethearts, and last but not least, the one that I really enjoy doing, Owl Friends. And those are all ready now to go on the shelves in their room. Then I made 3 cards. I've only got 2 because one of them was for a friend who lives near me, who is also a cross stitcher, and she's in the Cross Stitch It's Fun group. She's just had a little baby boy, so I made a card for him. So I shall insert the picture probably at the end because I've still not worked out how to put them in between. And then I've done this one for one of my carers, a 50th anniversary card. Because it's an odd shape, I did have a go at making the envelope because I bought the envelope maker thing that Carolyn Mazio was showing, and I think Marika's got it as well, but I just couldn't work it out. So I ended up just making my own envelope, so it's a bit rubbish, but I'm sure my carer will appreciate it. And then I made this one for my dad, which was in an envelope, and that's for Father's Day. Done that for him. Next is the thing, because I don't really know what to say about it. I've just been doing a bit of organising with my mum's help, because I like to be organised. And as you can see from this folder, I like to keep my patterns in folders. This is the one that I'm working on at the moment. This is my Heaven and Earth Ashley Gardens, and I keep the hard copy of the pattern in there. But all my other patterns were just sort of strewn around, so I've organised these. This small folder now is my miscellaneous folder, so like I've got my chatelaine there, you've seen these all before by the way, and then that's my Tilt and Craft Enchanted Lake. Then we have Flutter from the Cross Stitch, what's it called, Cross Stitch Pattern Shop. My Tilt and Crafts up on the rooftop, and my Joan Elliott Victorian dollhouse. So that's all in my miscellaneous file. And then I've got 2 giant Heaven and Earth files, which is the first one, this one, because they're in alphabetical order. Alphabetical by title, not by artist. So we've got Butterfly Effect, Butterfly Wood, December, Enchanted Castle. I am doing this just by looking at the pictures, I'm so clever. Longfellow House. And that's file number 1. File number 2. We have, I have to look at that one. Snowflake Daydreams. Soaring Free. which I always want to call Flutterby, that's why I had to stop and think then. I'll call it Flutterby. Sweet Paw. The Gift of Christmas, I think that one is. The Toy Shop. I'm thinking of you. So those are now easily found. Right. Now, the bit that I keep getting to where the video keeps cutting out. So hopefully we're okay this time, because I'm trying to do this as quick as I can. Just excuse me because I'm having to look at my iPhone for the questions. This is the stitching style tag, which was started by Reid. I shall put the link below to her video. So question number 1, favourite fabric. Anything by Jodyri Designs. But I have to say my favourite count is either 28 or 32 count even weave. Hoop or frame. I started off stitching in hand, then I went to a hoop, then I went from a hoop to a scroll frame to my millennium frame. And apart from when I'm doing my cards, which I do stitch in hand, which when you have arthritis is not easy, I just do everything on my millennium frame. Number 3, do you use a stand or just hold your frame? I use a Lyra stand, which I got on eBay as an absolute bargain. I do also have, I think it's called a Stitch Master lap stand, which I use in bed, but I'm not a fan of that really, but probably just because I'm using it in bed, it might be alright in a chair, and I think it'd be great if you stitch it at desk. What is your favourite time to stitch? Anytime is stitcher time in this house. But I'm most productive in the evenings, because I easily get distracted in the morning and afternoon, but evenings, because I am a night owl, hate mornings, don't do mornings, but I can stitch till the early hours sometimes. I love stitching at night. So yes, that's obviously my favourite time. Do you use a printed paper copy of your chart or digital? Printed paper copy, and I have to admit I do tend to use the original, which is a bit of a faux pas, I know. I have tried stitching via PDF, but I'm just old fashioned, I guess. I like the paper and the highlighter. I do have Foxit on my iPhone, iPad and computer, and I do have charts on there, but if I'm going to stitch them I do tend to print them off, and as you've seen in those folders these get stored, or the ones that I don't want to store, such as like I've got Save the Stitches, the new one, what's it, Box of Delights I think, and a few other things. They're still on my Foxit, ready for me to do someday. Are you a floss licker? Yes. Apart from Chronic, that's it, which I use my trusty needle threader for, and it also comes in handy for beading needles, because the eyes are so small. Do you hoard or buy supplies as needed? Hoard. In every other aspect of my life I'm the complete opposite of a hoarder, and in fact I get rid of things when I find out later that I actually needed them. But I have to admit I'm not just a cross stitcher, I'm a pattern collector, a kit collector, a fabric collector, and to some extent a thread collector, because I do have quite a large stash of DMC now. In fact I've got over 30 skeins of DMC 310 alone. Not bad. Are you a serial starter or do you have a WIP at a time? Definitely not a serial starter, because at the moment I've got 4 WIPs and it is seriously messing with my head. If I had any more, then the men in the white coats with the white van would be coming to take me away, haha. Because I just can't deal with it. So my plan is, I was trying my best to finish my Mirabilia, and I'm so close. I've only got a bit more stitching to do, then it's just beading. And then I was just going to go back to my Heaven and Earth, and also just my Frosted Pumpkin, because I don't really class my Frosted Pumpkin one as a WIP, because I've done all the borders and frames and whatnot, so it is only the little picture once a month. which I haven't done this month yet, but I just want to go back to doing my heaven and earth and doing nothing but my heaven and earth, because it's, well, first of all, it's just so fab, and just because I can only do one at a time, I've come to the conclusion, I have tried, but it's driving me nuts. So I'm going to finish this one I'm doing for my carer, then I'm going to finish my memorabilia, and then I'm just going to go back to my heaven and earth and nothing else. Yes, so I am not a serial starter. I did really want to join in Stitch Mania, and I was thinking about just starting card projects, but oh yeah, that's a lie. I do actually have two like card projects on the go as well. I have one which I keep next to my bed, which if I'm having like one of my bed days or just tired and just want to be in bed, then I stitch on that. And then I have another like which I carry like in a little travel bag, so that when I go to hospital appointments, I take that with me. But that's nothing major, but I just couldn't do it. I tried, and I've loved watching everyone. In fact, I'm really enjoying watching everyone. I'm going to be sad when Stitch Mania is over, but I haven't got around to watching all the videos yet, because it's been such fun seeing what everybody's doing, and I admire you all for doing it, but I'm afraid I just couldn't do it. Yes, I think I've answered that one. Do you have more FFOs or UFOs? In a way, neither. I definitely don't have any UFOs, because I can honestly say in 26.5 years of stitching, I've finished everything that I started. But the ones that I keep in a big file, which you'll have seen in my last video, I don't class as UFOs. I know they're not what you'd really class as FFOs, but to me, they're finished. You know, because I stitch a picture because I enjoy stitching the picture. I don't stitch it necessarily because I want it to be hung on a wall, or I want to do this with it or that, or apart from my cards obviously. I just stitch it because I enjoy stitching it. So to me, those that I have in my folder are FFOs because I finished them and I just enjoy looking at them every now and then. So I'd say neither. Do you watch TV while stitching? Always. I did try audiobooks, but as daft as this might sound, with the health problems I have, and two problems in particular, I struggle to concentrate. I used to love reading, but I just cannot read a book anymore. I cannot concentrate. Now, for some reason, I can cross stitch all day long, but I don't know, I don't find it takes concentration. I'm sure most people will disagree with that, but I don't. So I like to have the TV on in the background so I can follow something, but not, you know, intently watch it. Well, unless it's Floss where I do tend to watch that a lot. But I don't watch much TV. I like my box sets of things, and at the moment I'm working through my box set of The Flying Doctors, which is one of my all-time favourite shows. I'm on season 3 at the moment. I started, so yeah. Excuse all the ums. Do you mostly stitch alone, or do you ever get together with someone to stitch? Well, it depends how you define get together. Because yes, I'm always sat in the house on my own stitching, but I like to join the hangouts. I've not been able to do as many since I've been ill, simply because again, I find that takes concentration and I just can't do it and I get so tired. But I love it when we're doing hangouts and we're all just sat there stitching, and I don't feel like I'm stitching alone then, I feel like I am stitching with others. I'd love like a stitchy group or something, you know, like a local one around here where everybody could go to and we'll all stitch together. And here comes one of the cats. This is Bessie. Yes, hello Bessie. But there's just nothing like that around here. So yes, I stitch alone, but I get together with others on FlossTube. On the hangouts rather. I'd love to be able to stitch with my mum, but even when I lived at home, I always used to be stitching upstairs in my bedroom and she was always stitching downstairs in the living room. We never actually sat in the same room and stitched, which is really weird, but we didn't. Do you like to experiment and alter things with your charts? I can't see, Bessie. Or do you stitch them just as written? Pretty much stitch them as written. I'm not very adventurous. I have changed my frosted pumpkin one a little bit, but nothing drastic. And like I said before about that one I'm doing for my carer, I'm just not brave enough to alter it, so I'm not creative. Oh, I've got a sore throat. Do you bobbinate, floss or not? Yes. Up until recently I had them all in little clear envelopes, but it just wasn't working for me anymore, so I used to bobbinate years ago and I've gone back to it now. Do you start a project in the middle of your fabric or at the corner? I've always started in the middle, just because I taught myself and that seemed the easiest way. With the Heaven and Earth, excuse me, or my only Heaven and Earth, I have started in the top left hand corner, just because it says you should. But I'd worked out exactly where I would be, because I just have this fear of getting to the other side and running out of fabric, so I always start in the middle. Do you have a WIP rotation? Well, as I say, normally I wouldn't, because I'd only do one at a time. I did start one at the beginning of the year for like my Heaven and Earth and Mirabilia, but it's gone out the window now because I just want to get back to my Heaven and Earth, so I'm just stitching what I need to in order really, which, like, number one is the thing for my carer, then it's my Mirabilia. Well, in between that I'll catch up with my Frosted Pumpkin, that won't take long, and then I'll be back to my Reid, so as a rule, no, I don't. Do you use a timekeeper to keep track of how long it takes you to complete a project? I did download an app which I was planning to use, that's Betty again, for my Heaven and Earth, but I kept forgetting to turn it on and off. So no, the only thing I do is that I always write on the chart when I started it, the date I started, just out of interest as much as anything. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but I just find it interesting. Do you use the parking technique? Not strictly. I use the Kerry parking technique, but that's different. I know what I'm doing in my head. It'll make no sense to anybody else, I'm quite sure, but in my own strange head I know what I'm doing, because I'm a cross-country stitcher rather than a block or anything like that, block stitcher. I like to work cross-country, but then I don't necessarily do all of the colour that I'm doing. I do all of the colour as seems appropriate to do, but then, like, I tend to work on an area, and then when I've come to the end of that area, say if it's a dress or something, but then that colour's needed in, I don't know, a teddy bear, you know, further down, then I might just carry it to the teddy bear but then park it until I get to the teddy bear. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to you, but I can promise you it does to me. Do you keep your orts? In fact, well, I can't show you because the camera is on my ort jar. Yes, I do. I have a very nice kilner jar which I keep my orts in. I didn't until last year. I always threw them away, but again, just out of interest, just to see what I've done, yes, I've started keeping orts. Don't know what I'm going to do with them all when they're full. Last but not least, do you like to have a snack or drink while stitching? I don't tend to snack while stitching, just simply because greasy hands and everything, and I'm not much of a snacker, which you might find odd when you look at the size of me, but I'm actually not a snacker. I do like to have a drink near me. It's usually tea, occasionally coffee, or like fruit cordial, or if I'm being very naughty, I like to have a glass of wine, usually red wine, next to me. That's naughty, but I do. Yeah. So that's the end of the Stitchy style tag, and I'm hoping this has been third time lucky and it's uploaded. Now I have this major hassle because I've lost the lead from my camera, so I now have to, and I've got no memory card reader on my computer because I forgot to ask for one when I had it built. So now I have to put this film onto my laptop, then put it from my laptop onto an external hard drive, and then from an external hard drive onto my computer, and then from my computer into the program that I make it with. So yeah, so anyway, I shall see you all at the end of the month. Bye.